Welcome to Dr. Russ Air Gun Adventures. Normally, I'd be introducing you here in Clarkston, Michigan, but we're not in Clarkston, Michigan. No, we're in central southern Georgia, maybe 2-3 hours from the Florida border. But the town is Covington, and one of the most important AEA distributors in the country is right here. And he's sitting across the table from me now. Zachary.
Hello.
Tell me this, how long have you been in the AEA business?
3 years ago. 3 years today, yep. 3 years.
You checked the guns out, you decided AEA was one of them.
Yes, I check all the guns, the warranty work, everything has to be perfect before we send it out to customers, yes.
Okay, that's important.
Right.
And something else you have that's a lot like our Air Gun Adventures, you have your wife working with you.
Yes, Pat, she's a great help. She works in the office. She does all the invoices, the emails. She's very good at what she does. I mainly do the support, the gun repairs, the shipping, answering customers' questions. Keeps me very busy.
Another business you have is a machining type business, and you've actually made some parts.
Right, I have a CNC machine, I have a lathe machine, I made some magazines for different guns. If there's something out there that I can personally make for someone, I do my best to maybe make something, go further in detail with the customers, but it's just, with AEA, it just keeps me very busy these days. So I just really can't jump on other products like I want to.
Okay. So you have the equipment to make parts if they don't come in from China fast enough.
Right, that's what we're working on. More magazines, different parts to help with the products. If we can't get parts in, we do our best to try to maybe start manufacturing our own parts to help with the gun repairs.
Now, I've purchased from you the AEA Zeus, and I notice that and that 50 caliber Challenger, that I got two kinds of magazines. I had a plastic mag and I had a metal magazine. Your firm made the metal ones.
We've actually made a couple of the metal ones, the CNC magazines. We went back and we just said, you know, we're just going to wait because AEA is actually changing the magazines. So we didn't want to invest a lot of money into it. We're just letting them get the gun sorted out, get everything back where it needs to be, and then if we need to, we can move forward with more magazines. But in the beginning, there were plastic magazines, like on the Terminator 357. I was the original one that put the money down to build the gun. In the beginning, it was a lot of little problems here and there, but we worked everything out. I designed a better magazine with a locking system. It worked very well. We plan on doing more magazines for the other guns in the future. So.
And it isn't just AEA guns in your shop. You've got other guns too.
Right. I do import Huben air guns, which is an excellent gun. You know, Air Force air guns. I love Air Force. It's, you know, they're good quality. Air Force backs their customers. FX air guns. We do have those. Umarex, Benjamin, just all the name brands. If I don't have them on the website, it's probably because I hadn't actually uploaded them to the website yet, but we do have them.
Now, I wanted to improve my ability to put air into guns on this trip, and I'd been doing some research on compressors.
Right.
And you had the compressor, and just one of the reasons I came down was to get an air compressor, but you have those as well.
I do. It's basically the same. Well, it is basically the same as the Air Venturi compressor, but we don't actually use a radiator with a coolant system on it. You have to use a 5-gallon bucket of water, but it's a 2-stage compressor. But our price is amazing. So.
And it's not this blue Hung Ying.
The Young Hen, no, it's not a single stage. It's a 2-stage compressor. These are around $550. They should be marked at $800. Which we import them directly from the manufacturer, so we can actually cut the price and give our customers, you know, a good compressor for a low price. That's what it's about.
I've got this little Hatson one, and it goes clang, 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 clang. I did that pretty good, actually. And that's how it fills a gun, and it doesn't take too long before that thing is hot, because compressing air creates heat. would never, ever refill one of my aqua lung tanks.
Right.
But this one of yours does.
Right. If you look at this compressor I have, it's a two-stage compressor, so you can fill air guns very quickly. It's really designed for filling air tanks, but for the price, you can't even get a two-stage compressor for what I'm charging for that.
Okay. Well, that's what I've found. You know, Zach, a lot of people are interested in air pistols these days. I have a couple of pistols. I'm lucky to get about 350 feet velocity on them and only shooting BBs. A few have come out with pellets. But AEA has a pistol called the Defender. Tell us about that.
Right, we actually have a small pistol. It's about the same size of a 9mm pistol. It takes 2 shot shells, 5,000 psi. You can run it all the way down to about 3,400 psi, the shells. They are little canisters that hold the air. You can run the arrows, or we do have 9mm barrels for the pellets, JSB or FX 81.2 pellets. They're for close range. I mean, you're not going to be shooting them at 30, 40 yards out. It's more like a self-defense, home self-defense, something like that. We do have one of those.
So here we have 2 barrels. We have a 35 caliber,
Right.
9mm in each barrel. And we have what looks like a shotgun shell, but it's actually filled with air.
Right. I don't have one today. I could show you, but you just you screw on the end, you fill the shell, and you have to change the burst disc out every time you shoot it. But that shell will hold the air, and you just screw it into your barrel, and then you can put it in the gun and you can shoot it. So.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll want to run a whole video on that gun when we get one out. You know, one of the most interesting stories, people often ask me, how did you get started in air guns? And that's a very old story. But I've got to pose it to you, Zach. How did you get involved in air guns? What was your first air gun? Where?
I would probably say my first air gun was probably a Daisy.
A Daisy?
A single shot Daisy. Yes, and after that I moved up to a Crossman 760 Pump Master.
Sure.
And then I got a Daisy 880.
So you were how old with your first Daisy air gun?
I would say probably 5 years old.
So you've got at least 30 years or more
yes.
in air guns now.
Right.
Even to the point where you've got a machine shop that can actually make some parts.
Right. We do have that, yes.
So you appreciate this beautiful sport of ours.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Just to go out and shoot air guns, I don't get to do it that much, with all the servicing work and running the business, but I have a lot of air guns in my collection. I just don't have time to go out and shoot as much as I want to.
That often happens with anybody in this business. We love air guns, but when we get involved in the industry, we have less time to just shoot those air guns.
Right.
Well, good. One of the things is every man, woman, child has a certain caliber that they like the best. For me, it's 25 caliber or 357 because they fit my backyard and all the critter control I've got going on a regular basis. But that's my answer. Zach, what's your favorite caliber?
That's kind of a hard answer to give you correctly. I mean, I like all calibers, all the way from 177 all the way up to 50 caliber. In my personal collection, I would probably say I have more 25 calibers than the 22s. I do have 22s, I do have 357s, 45s, 50s. But just backyard fun, I would say 25 caliber.
How many guns in your collection?
I probably would put it at 60, maybe.
Oh.
60, about 60.
Well, you've got twice as many guns as I do. And I've always regretted, if I sell one, I regret that I sold it. And,
right.
But I'm moving a lot of my powder guns. I just sold, I think, 8 of them the other day. Because powder guns allow you to hunt and shoot once a year in the fall. Maybe the shotgun's a spring turkey hunt, but air guns, I shoot them 12 months of the year.
Right. I have my share of air guns and firearms as well, but I don't never shoot my powder guns, obviously, taking them apart, cleaning them. One guy told me one time, when you start taking them apart and cleaning them and you forget how to put them back together, you got too many guns. So I don't ever really shoot mine. I like air guns. That's where it's at now.
Okay. I watched the automobile business, and it reached a point where it went into the stage we called consolidation. That's why we don't see any Nashes anymore, any Ramblers anymore. By golly, we don't even see Plymouths and Oldsmobiles anymore because of this consolidation. And certainly Tesla's come along and shaken the entire industry up, believing we should power our cars now with electricity and not with gasoline. Recently at the SHOT Show, I thought that maybe we'd see some sort of consolidation going on, at least the beginnings of consolidation. And I know Gamo's huge, I know Crossman's huge, Hatson is huge. And here was AEA coming aboard. How would they fare in a world of consolidation? I'm not so sure we're in a consolidation yet. What do you think?
If you're talking about AEA and their products and their designs, they're a little bit different than the normal consumer out there. They're a new line of guns. They're bringing a lot of power into the market. The guns are being built strictly for the American market, but I know there's other countries out there that like the guns. Obviously, the regulations and all with the guns, they always ask me, well, can you send them to me? Can you do this? But obviously by laws, we can't send the guns just to anyone. They're in a league of their own. They have different designs. They have 50 calibers, 72 calibers. They got semi-auto, full autos coming out. The guns are just strictly raw power. This is what everybody in America wants. Most of the people in the American market want something that has that kind of power. But then again, you look at Crossman, Benjamin, Daisy, they always have a place in the market for their air guns. They've always been here. So there's some, a lot of customers out there like those guns. Customers call me and they need help with their guns, and they ask me, well, do you work on a Crossman? Do you get parts for a Benjamin? Or, I know you're an AEA distributor, but the question is, I will do the best I possibly can. I'll contact the manufacturer and see if I can get the parts for you. But yeah, I think there's always going to be something coming new to the market. So it's kind of hard to put it in like a class of its own. It's just so much competition going on right now. So we will see some more changes in the next couple of years with AEA and all the other brands, obviously. That's what I say, yeah.
Well, I've been real, I think, slow in adopting, testing, reviewing any new air guns. First of all, I didn't want to get into some junk. I knew the number one complaint out there was so-and-so is not keeping the gun serviced. I can't get them to honor the warranty, the guarantees. And the last thing I wanted to do was to buy and enjoy and even let our viewers know any other newer guns. But I kept hearing a couple of things. One was a lot of viewers said, when are you going to do an AEA gun? Well, 4 months ago I hadn't heard of AEA. Well, then I began to not only look for everything I knew about AEA, but I also began to look at the 5 or 6 big distributors around the country and made phone calls and checks, because it was who services these companies the best. And that meant a lot. And again, I heard that AEA was this great gun for the value. Oh my goodness, the value. And secondly, that Zach was the one to get it from. And so that's when I contacted Zach. And it's been a good time. In fact, I think I own about 5-6 guns now, and they all work well. You fixed anything that comes up. You and I hadn't even met.
Right.
But in fact, we haven't even met till this visit right here. But a couple phone calls. I like dealing with his wife better. Actually, I haven't dealt with his wife, but I dealt with Zach. And so I think in the last couple of videos, I've shared his name and phone number here in Georgia. But you ship all over the U.S.
I do.
You have customers outside of the U.S.
Yes, we do.
Okay. I know one of your large non-U.S. customers is out of South America.
Right.
So he's a global presence. What got you on the name of ARES? Almost AEA, but not quite.
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Arius, the background of Arius. Arius is like a god,
Greek god.
like a Greek god, and we wanted something that's different. But then again, we wanted something that started with an A, But it was just, we come up with the idea one night. Just started thinking like, that would be really cool to have something like that. So we just started moving with it and designed something. I said, it looks good, and I sent it over to a couple of friends of mine. They said, that looks good, Zach. That looks good. Who made it for you? I said, well, honestly, my wife.
And the logo's on your shirt here.
Oh yeah, it's got the
power of air.
Right, the power of air. Yep. Yep.
Well, I think we've asked him all the pertinent questions. My wife and I need to come back down in about three months. So we'll come back down. You'll probably have some new air guns to show us.
Right. I'll be getting some new ones in about 2 weeks.
Okay. We look forward to that. If you enjoy our videos, always be sure to give us that thumbs up. If you want to be first on the list to get the next video and be told about it, be sure you subscribe as well. And remember, we want you to be air gun safe, air gun sharp, and air gun silent.